Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Hope all you guys are doing well. And in this session what we are going to do is we will see the practical implementation of previous video. So if you guys missed my previous video, please go back to my previous session and check out that session, okay? Because if you don't understand the previous topic which I covered in the previous session, then you will not going to get any idea about this session, okay? So yeah, let's go ahead. Before that, I just wanted to recap what we covered in the previous session. We covered that what is the working of the class loader, what it does. The class loader will read and load the dot class files, and it will store in the method area of the JVM memory, and after that it will create the dot class file, okay? And dot class file, it will create the it will create the class object. And what is the need of that class object, that we are going to look into this session. So let's go ahead, guys. So as you can see, I have created one student project here. Under the source folder there is a default package, and I have created one student.java file. And as you can see, I have created one student class here. Inside student class I have declared two fields, or you can say two attributes. So this student class has two attributes. One is a name and the roll number, second is a roll number. These two attributes are private, so that student class have a better security. And then I have defined these four getter setter methods here, okay? So this is all about student class. So what we are going to do in the next step is, I have created the test class in the same file, student.java file, okay? And inside the test class I have written this main method. So all you guys are aware of this, that our Java execution will start from the main method only, okay? So here comes the part what we covered in the previous session, that this class I have declared class object, okay? Class object. If you look, what is this class? Sorry guys. Yeah, so I have created class object, okay? And this, how we are going to, I have just declared this class object here, okay? And what I did here is, I have created one class object, and C is referring to that class object, and this class object is for student, okay? So this is the one way to create a class object. As you can see here, the description says that instance of the class represent classes and interfaces in a running Java application, okay? So this class dot for name, and as you can see, the for name is, it will returning the class object, okay? Returns here, the description says that it returns the class object associated with the class or interface with the given string name. So the string name I have mentioned here is a student. So the class.forName method will return the student class object, and the C will refer to that class object. Okay, yeah. And to make you guys better understand, I have created a diagram here. So here you can see this class C equal to class.forName student. So the class object will be returned by this line, and C will referring to that returned class object here. Yeah, hope you guys understand till this point. We'll move ahead. After that, I have created one filled array. So what is this filled? You might be thinking, what is this filled array? So filled provides, this filled is present in a java.lang.reflect package. So this filled is a class. A field provides information about and dynamic access to a single field of a class or an interface. So it represents that what the class contains, or what are the attributes present in a class, what are the fields present in a class. So c.getDeclaredFields, this is, so what we are going to do here is, whatever the class object related to student is returned here in this line, by using that C reference, we are trying to get all the fields, all the variables present in this student class object, and we are storing that in the filled array whose name is F. Okay, so here we are iterating over the array by using for each loop, and we are trying to print these field names. Yeah, so let me try this code, run this code. Okay, and here is the output. Yeah, as you can see here, field name private java.lang.string student.name. So it returns fully qualified name of the field present in a student class. So student.name is returned, and private in student.roll number is returned. As you can see here, that our student class has two fields named name and roll number. Okay, so getDeclaredFields, this method is present inside a class object, and that will return all the present fields in the class. Okay, yeah. So again, there is one very important method present in the class object, and that one is c.getDeclaredMethods. It will return all the declared methods in a class student, and it will get stored in the method array. So this method is also again a class present in a java.lang.reflect package. Okay, so to store all the returned methods, we have declared the method array. And again, as we did same in the previous lines, again I write the for each loop to iterate over this method array. So for each method m1, I'm printing this m1 method. Okay, let me try to run again. So here you can see the method name public java lang dot string student dot get name. This is set name, this is get roll number, and this one is set roll number. So as you can remember, we declared 4 methods in our student class. Here the get name, set name, get roll number, set roll number. Okay, so as you can guys all understand that this class object, these class objects are we are using to get the class level information, like what are the fields present in this class student, what are the methods present in our student class. So yeah, so this is what we learned in the previous session, that this is the importance of the class object. Okay, again there is one more important thing I wanted to mention, and that one is that even if we create multiple student objects, so student S1 is referring to the new student class object. After that, there is a second way to create a class. That one is by using getClass method. So we are using this S1 reference variable. With the help of S1, I am trying to get the class of the student object. So it will return the class object related to student. Okay, and that class I am storing in the class C1. The C1 will refer to the returned class object. Okay, again I created the new student object, and S2 is referring to that student object. With the help of S2, I have called the second time get class method, and returned class object is C2 is pointing to that return class object. So you might be thinking that this C1 and this C2 both are pointing to the two different return class objects, but you are wrong here, because I will show you why. If those are different, that means C1 and C2, if those are referring to the two different objects, then their hash code must be different. But what happens here, let me see. So you can see here all the C1 dot hash code, C2 dot hash code, and C3 C dot hash code, all these three will return the same hash code. What that mean? This means all this C1, C2 and C, all the references are pointing to the same class object. So what happens in a class object at the time of creation of class object is that whenever at the first time we call the class object, or we create the class object for a particular class, in our case we have created the class object for the first time of student class here, and that class but second time when we try to create the new class object and return that class object, at that time what JVM will do, it will check in its memory that whether that class is already present in the memory or not. If it is present, then the already existed class, it will return to the your reference variable, but it will not create the new class object. So because of that, all these three hash codes are same here. So only one class object for your defined class will be created whenever you call the first time that get, whether it is a get class method or a for name method. It will be created only once. So whatever we saw, all these concepts I will show you through the pictorial presentation. So we have created student S1 equal to new student, so that by using that line we created the new student object, and this S1 reference variable will refer to that created new student object. Again we have created a student S2 object. That new student object will be created, and S2 is referring to that new student object. Okay, here there are we have seen two ways to create the class object, and that class object will be created by using this for name method and mentioning the for which class you want to create the class object. In our case we have we taken student object, student string here. So this C is referring to this class object, and afterwards we have created two classes by using this get class method. So so instead of creating the new class object, the JVM will return the same class object which is present in the JVM area, that will be returned to this C1 reference variable and C2 reference. Because of that only the last three lines of in our program, those were hash code of C, this C1 and this C2, all will return the same hash code. So this is clear that only one class object will be created for your class, and that will be referred by afterwards only. Hope you guys all enjoy this video. Bye bye guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and please do like this video. Bye bye guys. Bye.